Okay. Hello. I hope that this audio is working. Doesn't look like the bars are very high on my thing, so maybe I can adjust that while I'm doing this. I'll just start by saying this live stream is really just a live video for my patrons on Patreon, and also for those that are interested, obviously, for those of you that watch me and my channel. I'm going to do two things at once, which means I won't do either of them very effectively because multitasking isn't really a efficient way of doing anything. Well, maybe the audio is just fine enough to where, I can't tell. I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to make a video for my patrons. I now have 3 patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much, you guys. It's been really sweet. It's been really sweet to engage with you in the ways that I have, and it's been a challenging thing to navigate with my internal dialogue and the healing journey that I'm on with taking my trauma into my own hands and doing everything that I can to heal appropriately and effectively and in ways that feel like I can move forward in life, but not just to contribute to a system that's ultimately just like a market machine, I've been dealing with a lot of those thoughts of I have big dreams to aspire to, and, inevitably being a part of this culture, some of those dreams can be highly influenced by what your culture is, condoning or feeding, and asking of you, because that, at the end of the day, it's a system that wants to profit and expand. Capitalism does that. And so I've been in this interesting journey of, in this worldwide web that we live upon, or live in, really. World Wide Web that we live upon. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. There's a lot of compare and contrasting thoughts and opinions and lifestyles that present themselves in the form of social media, and it's not just necessarily about comparing the superficial part of people's lives that you wish that you could attain and have, even though it's a very compartmentalized and fractionated, I know it's not really a word, version of the total picture of someone's life that they're presenting. But really also it's connecting people to the heart of a person's experience, and it gives people insights into themselves and ways to relate with themselves and with the other person that they're engaging with, even if it's one-sided. And it gives them nuggets of wisdom to what am I trying to say? I feel like I'm beating around the bush in my words, but really what I'm trying to say is I've gained a lot of camaraderie, even if it's not something that's spoken on with me, the other person that I'm witnessing on social media. I find a lot of camaraderie in the reflecting parts of people's life and the journeys that they're on, and just trying to see where I fit into it, because I know I'm on my own separate journey and path. But I guess I've just been in this looping thought pattern for the last couple of weeks of giving space for my trauma excuse me, to really be what it is, and my healing process to be what it is. But at the same time, not letting that be the excuse that I continue to make as to why I'm not making significant efforts in my life to that are ultimately like the foundation for what I want to be doing in the world and like my career, and not a superficial stance, but like my life's purpose, because it's really important to me. I feel very intimately and emotionally connected, spiritually connected to the work that I'm meant to be doing in the world, and like just the presence and space that I'm meant to be holding for others in the world. Thank you for the person that liked the live stream. I appreciate you. So anyways, it's been an interesting dance, because it's like for the first time, it's this juxtaposition, because if you don't know already, I'm in school to become a therapist, but I'm realizing so much of those skills that I'm getting is in my own journey apart from the Western school system completely. It's just kind of like this, like the Western school system, the college university system is just, God, such a bleh. It's like the dues that you have to pay in a dead system that isn't actually meant for the living and breathing human experience. I think a very well-known psychologist that can't pinpoint his name in my mind right now, but it's a very well-known psychologist who quoted and said that the psychology field that we know today, Western psychology, is a dead system. It's not a living and breathing entity. It's a dead system. So, of course, that that's not the kind of system that I will operate from. I have an art therapy session, which is why I wanted to come on here first to just kind of like ramble a little bit, but also tell you where I've been at. I haven't posted in a few months because I've been going through a lot. So I've been in this like interesting stuck place, but not feeling too upset about it. More like I was saying, like giving myself space to be in this space, but also like catching the judgments of the capitalistic culture that we live in, but also not giving too much energy to it, and just wondering, basically I'm trying to figure out, what do I actually feel about where I'm at in my life right now, and how I'm going about what I'm doing. Like, what is it that I truly want? It's like I'm refining and getting very clear, because like I mentioned previously, as much as I would like to externalize the foundation laying, like the nuts and bolts of getting things going for my life's work, like I realize that this is truly, truly the ultimate foundation that I could be laying for this work, because it's coming from a real place of vulnerability and integrity and authenticity that I cannot move forward in my life without this being the backbone. And like, it's not like a this or that thing. Like, this is just who I am and where I'm operating from now. And I'm just really thankful that whatever has transpired in my life, I mean, I know the things that have transpired in my life to get me to this state of awareness that I'm at and operating from. And like, I'm feeling really grateful for these things, and like the hardship that I've been through. Like, a lot of times I keep coughing because I kind of lost my voice the other night because I went to a concert because it's really dry. But I don't even know what I was just saying. If you know what I was just saying, can you just like type it in the chat, person that's watching, please? Otherwise I'll just riff. Yeah, it's been a lot of hardship and a lot of like extreme challenge, just so much extreme challenge, and just having to like navigate the victim consciousness and not to gaslight myself and not to bypass certain things. So it's like a balancing act of my own inner compass, if that makes sense. And that's a lot of like the energy that I want to bring into the work that I want to do in the world. And I feel like I have a lot to offer um, people, and I have a lot to offer myself, because it's it's a it's a it's always been for me throughout this YouTube journey. It's always been for me um, a healing exchange. And that's how you know it's like the real work, because you're healing simultaneously as it is for others, you know? And so by me sharing my experiences and sharing the space that I can give to hold for other people, I'm really like doing that for myself. And so I just really, it's been eating me up, because I feel a little bit stunted in my tech savviness and just really like resourcing. I'm realizing, like, as I progress and into the lifestyle that I want to that I know is coming, I realize that it's not going to be just a me thing. It's going to be me outsourcing to other people that I trust and love, and that'll help me with this. And basically what I'm saying is that it's a lot to be a single mom to a toddler with no family around. And I'm doing everything I can to like get myself really secure and um, well, scratch that part. I've been branching out and being more vulnerable and having more friendships open up for me, and so that's been a place of nurturance, but also um, it's a part of my work. It's a part of like my healing journey to be able to vulnerably show up and be seen by other people, not for what I look like or for what I do, but for who I am. And whew, um, yeah, that's been a big part of my life. And I guess my heart bleeds for this. Like my heart bleeds for this work, like sharing and being a part of your life, because you're a part of my life. And I guess I just don't want you to think that just because time has passed and you haven't seen me on here doesn't mean that it's not unbelievably important to me that you know how much this means to me. And I just have a lot of gratitude and respect for your presence and your time, and just want you to know that. And I hope to share this on my YouTube channel and on my Patreon as well. So if you wanted to come and support me there, that's where I feel like a lot of the stuff is going to be held in that container, but I don't want to exclude anyone that wants to be a part of that. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this, and also figuring out how to find time to like really make these things happen, because it's a lot to carry what I'm carrying. And I know people do it every day, but it's really challenging, especially when you're working through your own shit and your own trauma and your own things. So it's not like I'm just like this, you know, I mean, being a human is nuanced in itself, and like doing the work of like 3 people is like challenging. And so I just want you to know that I'm working really hard, doing the best that I can in every moment. And sometimes that's not the best, but I can't keep holding myself to a standard that is really judgmental and like not conducive to the healing process, but also not being so lax that I'm just like making an excuse for everything. So I don't know, that was a little too personal, but and not like a full complete picture. But basically I just wanted to say I love you. And 3 likes. Wow, thank you. So if you want any more information about what I'm doing, just to wrap it up, because I have to leave in 2 minutes, I'm going to be doing live streams more. So that was the main point of this update, besides telling you my feelings. I'm going to be doing live streams more, and it's probably going to be in like a closed container, like via Zoom, because it's going to be like a ritual-based settings. We're going to be like in a container together, and I'm going to be like leading, like it's going to be like workshop-ish, but it's going to be more just, it's all coming together, but just know that it's going to be a thing that we do together. So 3 people, hello, how you doing? And then thirdly, I'm working on a very special video for a friend of mine, because I did a grief training about a month ago, and I did some video work for him, and I'm really excited about this. And it's going to be similar to what you've seen in my previous videos, but more artistic. And so I'm so excited. And yeah, if you want to support me on Patreon, it means so much to me. It gives me space to first realize that people love me enough to support me in what I'm doing in this world. And financially, it means so much. I'm living off of student loan debt right now, and yeah, I'm grateful for that. It's not much, but it's what is available to me, and I wouldn't be able to survive without it. So, and if you don't want to do that, I understand. The Patreon pillar that I do have right now is, that's my therapist. We have to go. Shit. Okay. Anyways, I've got to go. I think that was mainly the most of it. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. This is just the beginning. Okay.